on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business so humongous, you would think that happens in it. Oh man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Working for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have them yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Woo! Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. I'm going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream.
Alright, hope everyone is doing great this morning. I'll check something real quick here. Dang it, that's not what I wanted. That's okay. See, that's the only thing I'm noticing with this game that's a bit... I mean, it's not really a downside. It's just kind of a, well, that, you know... or just kind of like, eh... is it does not, doesn't let me click away from it. Yeah, and then it does that, too. Oh, God. Okay, hold on. It's up. It's just... it does this really stupid thing to where it changes which monitor it's on. Like if I alt tab it too much. No. Oh, why does that picture seem so off? Oh, it must be a streaming thing. So I can't have the HDR on while streaming. Okay, that's not anything new, I guess. I've seen that before. Alright. So let's see what... actually, no. I should probably do... let's turn that off. Okay, we'll try that. All right. Yeah, so I've not played this in a minute, man. And now, like, for whatever reason, Pretzel is announcing every fucking song it plays. I don't know why. I have yet to actually figure that one out, honestly. This is driving me nuts. I don't know why. Okay. Alright. A lot going on, isn't there? Okay. Maybe not. Fucking game just crashed. Oh my god. That's so stupid. Right. Well, let's try that again, huh? See what happens. I don't really know why it's... I don't know why it's announcing every song like that. I mean, I guess that's not a bad thing, but there's an option for that setting, you know, so you can turn it on or off, but it's definitely not on. It's definitely not on. So I don't know why that keeps popping up like that. I don't know if it's my mouse or what, but I also noticed that like when you're in the worlds and you want to go to the top or what have you, to go to like your destinations or your quests or whatever, it drags hard. Like it just keeps the screen dragging. I don't know if that's something on my end or what. So I know I gotta like, oh, here we go. Here we go. $1,000. That's already at 1,000 and damn near 1,000. Okay, so I'm there. I just don't have the pieces. Honestly, is what I need. No, maybe we should just fast travel along. Oh, perfect. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. Yeah, I have no freaking upgrade modules. Oh my god, so much stuff here. Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of that. Oh, no, that's right. Where is... I feel like so much of this shit I just gotta get rid of, man. Honestly. No enhancement cores either. That's a shame, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so we got both then at least. Alright. Let's throw that in there. Go figure. We're gonna throw in there too. I feel like a ton of this crap I just need to get rid of. Investigate Mine Lab Rasputin. I feel like that's a mission. Maybe not, though. Okay, complete the mission interface on IO. Okay. Complete the weekly means to an end quest available from Drifter's Prismatic Recaster. Alright, let's go to IO. I thought it said IO, right? Or was it Titan? Okay, I complete the mission interface on IO. Usually it like highlights the world. See, okay, so this is what I don't get. Why is that? Requires quest progress means to an end, right? But oh, okay, so I'm in like this weird. Okay, so in order to do interference, I have to do more means to an end. Now, my investigate Mine Lab Rasputin. I'm kind of curious on something here. Okay, so I can just go. Okay. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't look like I necessarily have to. for a signal from Rasputin. Nothing. Okay, let's go back to Rasputin here. I kind of just wanted to see. Okay, so that's working pretty well actually. Okay, so I know I'm looking for something obviously, but I don't quite know what exactly. Alright, let's check
at 10 o'clock CEST, and that's going to deploy a fix for the missing apparel event keys. Johan, you were talking before the stream a little bit about what's going to happen, because obviously people are wondering, what about the keys that I missed out on? when and how will people get those?
So, in essence, the fix tomorrow is going to fix the issue that is causing you to not get the keys that you should be getting. But the fix tomorrow will not be retroactively granting the keys that you have earned so far. However, next week on Tuesday, hopefully the goal that we have a grant that gives you the keys that you should have earned during that period. So you have those available, and so you can perhaps complete the apparel event or whatever you may need. So in short, tomorrow the core issue gets fixed, and next week you will have a retroactive grant of the keys that you should have earned. Have you been playing and participating in the apparel event over the last couple of days?
Okay, that's good to know. So when people heard the start of that sentence where you said it will not be retroactively granted, the fix tomorrow
right?
won't. The fix tomorrow won't make that happen, but next week those will be granted to people.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
7 NBD saying, so it's safe to grind again. Yes, it is. Okay, Mackenzie, are you psyched? Are you ready to go?
I'm very excited.
With the PowerPoint. Unreasonably excited. So there are changes coming to the summit for TU 11.1. Johan, we don't have a date for TU 11.1 just yet. Do we have anything tentative that we can say?
Tentatively, we're aiming for October 20th. That's our goal. I think it's fairly likely that you can expect October 20th, but of course, always with development, some last minute things might pop up. We might have to shift it a little bit, but it's coming soon. So it isn't far at all. And I'm sure that the changes that Mackenzie will be presenting is something that a lot of you will appreciate, or at least I hope so. And yeah, October 20th.
Yes, okay. On that note, I wish we had some hype music for this PowerPoint, but we don't.
You still have drum roll, Hamish.
I have a guitar. No. If I was more prepared, I would get into it, but it's not happening. So this is the part of the stream where my technical last minute hack knowledge could either fail us or work completely. So we'll see. All right. Okay, we got the PowerPoint up. It works. I'm doing this off a bit of a janky setup, but it works. All right. Mackenzie, take us through it.
Yes. So for 11.1, we're looking to address a lot of the topics brought up by the community during the PTS waves, and also since TU11 launched. And so we really want to create that experience of grinding from floor 1 to 100 with your own customized challenge and rewards. And so, yeah, what we're going to talk about today is the difficulties, the directives, your targeted loots, and some other improvements that we've made to the summit.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of it.
Jump in here.
Yes, indeed. So you all know and love the elevator menu, but you need to really start rethinking how you view the summit game mode now, because in 11.1 there are no rally points. It's a completely different structure to the game mode, and so you will no longer see this elevator menu anymore. Instead, the new way that you'll introduce the way that you kind of play the mode is you'll come to the elevator, and you'll see right here that I was previously playing on got up to floor 34 in the summit, and I was playing on heroic difficulty, and I had two directives active. I had cool skills and scavenge skills at the same time active. But right now I want to change the settings for my summit experience. So I come into here and I can set my difficulty. And so, as you'd expect, next slide. You can set normal through legendary difficulty, and I will start from floor 34 with that difficulty set. But I also want to change my directives. And so when I go ahead into my directives, you will see that we make available to you all 9 directives that we've released thus far. which you can create a lot of interesting combinations. For me, I really think like the cool skill scavenge skills, if you're playing aggressively, can be a really interesting combination. But I know the thing that chat is going to love is the additional targeted loot chance.
Yeah, I was just going to say, let's take a quick breath because I see a lot of people in chat already pointing it out. I saw a lot of questions. Zurgens is asking why though, and then some people are talking already about targeted loot chance bonus.
Yes.
I brought this up with you before the stream about the math behind that.
Yep.
Do we want to go in depth on that? I mean, this is more of a Nikki question, but how is that bonus affected?
Yes. So the way that targeted loot works is that each difficulty increases the chance of getting targeted loot. So legendary has the highest chance of dropping targeted loot.
So I have a feeling it's going to be good on Summit. I'm sure targeted loot is going to be just fine on Summit.
This is throughout the game, not just specific to Summit.
But
will increase.
They have
will add a bonus to that difficulty modifier.
With
so if you have hard with one
everything
directive,
outside
it's not
Summit.
Going to be
like
as
all the
much
loot,
as
the loot outside Summit
challenging,
sucks ass.
But it's still going to be more than the hard baseline. But if you stack up maybe 5 or 6 directives, then you'll start to kind of hop difficulties as far as the chance of targeted loot. And
Right.
so we really wanted to make directives something that people want to use. We know the XP wasn't enough, and so hopefully this makes them more enticing.
I see Fraku's question through the whole game, PogChamp.
Yes. So this applies to directives in missions, in the open worlds, in the Summit. It's directives everywhere.
Great. All right, let's move on.
Yes. And so you see here, I have changed from my original setup when I was playing last of heroic and 2 directives to now legendary with 3 directives. And I can just go ahead and confirm that change, and then I'll hop in and start playing from there. You might have had the question, I don't know, I didn't see in the chat. You can turn on all 9 at once. I don't know who's going to be able to do all 9 with legendary.
Well, we know the community's crazy. They will definitely do it tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but the day it comes out, they'll knock it out of the park.
It will happen.
I'm looking for Pockets is already saying challenge accepted. Yes. It's going to be intense. All right, what's next?
Okay, so yeah, this is just kind of an overview of what I just talked about. You get to select your own difficulty and directives. You choose your challenge, and then the increased targeted loot chance from directives. It also applies to the open worlds and missions, and directives still increase XP as well.
Great.
So, at the beginning, I kind of mentioned that the elevator menu is gone. So how would this work? And so here's an example of how you could play through the Summit. So everyone starts on floor 1 after the update. And so you'll start floor 1 on Tuesday maybe, and you'll play through 36 floors with your friends on Legendary and 4-player co-op. You quit, you come back on Friday, and because you know how respawning works currently in the Summit, it's every 3 floors and on boss floors. So you'll restart at floor 34. You could have changed the difficulty and the directives you have. You could be playing with a slightly different group of friends, as long as it's still the the same group of people being the party leader. And then you'll play up to floor 80 maybe. And the boss fight there is really tough. And so you come back on Saturday and you grind your way up a bit further, up to floor 99. On Sunday, you come back alone, you do it. And then once you've finished the summits, you restart back from floor 1 always. And so it's, it's really this climb from 1 to 100. But throughout this climb, you can be changing the difficulty as you want.
I just want to point out to people that this is an example of how it could be played. This isn't like a reset on these days. Please do not read it like that. Mackenzie is just trying to give you an idea of how you could change around the way that you experience it.
Yes. Yeah, this is like an extreme example of like, all over the place as far as it. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
Moving on.
While you're climbing up the summit, while you still have a single difficulty set, it will get more challenging. And so that's what we're calling threat scaling. And so you'll see here that the number of lieutenants, like mini bosses, on a set of 10 floors will increase the higher up in the summit you get. So from like 21 to 30, you face only one lieutenant on floor 26, and then once you get to floor 30, you face a single boss. Whereas up on floor 71 to 80, you will face 3 mini bosses, and then the final floor has 3 bosses on it rather than just one. And so it's and also along the way you're also getting more elites the higher up in the summit you get. So there's a subtle gradual increase in difficulty the higher up you get, which that's something that we still wanted to maintain with the summit, was this idea that like the higher you climb, the tougher it gets, just because that's a cool narrative experience. Yeah.
All right, what else? I'm not sure how close we are to the end of the presentation.
We're getting there. There's still writing fields, yes. So here we just wanted to cover the stuff that I just talked about. With the update, everyone will start over again at floor 1. Rally points are gone. You climb at your own pace. Once you finish floor 100, you will start again from floor 1, and you repeat that cycle of 1 to 100 over and over again. The new threat scaling, higher floors equals more bosses and elites. I don't
understand why they
and
do
you can
this.
resume on checkpoints. So as you saw highlighted there, you start
You're gonna make
from
people
like
start
the
over
of 3 things and the boss floors, and so that means that there's more frequent checkpointing, and so you can stop.
So
and
like
come back
I've already
on floor
grinded my
34
way up to floor
or 97, or
I mean,
wherever
mind you, I have
you
the
currently are at.
it took
and
me
you don't have to
longer
worry about losing
because
progress.
I was getting the exotic pieces first before I even cared to go to one.
But I know what everyone's thinking right now. What about the loots? Can I influence what loot I'm getting? And so you'll see here the increased targeted loot allocation right now is Hunter's Fury.
I just
we currently don't have specific.
So you're gonna make people start over.
So that's new, right?
Again.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe in the bottom you can see that you can select your targeted loot. So if we go ahead and go to the next slide, you'll yes, yeah, you can select your targeted loot within the summit.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot in there. So
yeah.
No, they just need to implement that
really
right there. They need to put that into the rest 100%. Of the game.
Yes.
Nice.
You get to select any of these. You can change this whenever during the climb. So if you go ahead to the next couple slides, you'll kind of see here that you could switch it to Bellstone Armory if you want to grind that. Oh no, it's fine to go a couple more. So yeah, you can change it whenever. One thing to note, like the personal target loot, that's specific to the summit, but you notice that we split out the gear sets into individual allocations. That applies to the normal rotation. And so what that means is you could see Lincoln having True Patriot as its gear set. But if we go to the next slide. So this is personal target loot. And so here's an example of some people playing together, and you'll see that each of them can set their own target loot. They can change it whenever they want. When they get the item that they've been chasing, they can switch over to a different chase.
Interesting. Okay. That's good. That was my next question. Is their personal loot? I'm seeing a lot of feedback in chat. Okay, what is this?
Yes. So we have a weekly project for the summit as well. And so, each week you'll get rewarded for completing the summit on any difficulty. You'll get an exotic cache, a named item, If you still have blueprints, you'll get those. If you have specializations, you'll get the points for those. So it's just another reward for playing the summits on a regular basis.
Cool. I'm seeing a lot of people in chat. Mr. Mikey's is saying I might actually play now. Nice. There's a lot of good stuff. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, T3 Feathers is saying, we'll have to see how it goes, and that's true, and always the case for everything that we do. That is, is this the last slide?
No, there's still a few more, but
okay, Mackenzie. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep them going.
Just you'll see here. This is floor 100. You'll see that there are no more windows on the door because those were exploited.
Okay.
So no more windows on the doors, but you'll see right now, here I am on floor 100 with hard difficulty and all 9 directives. I did not play up to here legitimately with that, but this is, something new that could happen, which is very different from the experience that we had in T11. So it's just really like a highlight of how much you can customize this now to whatever you want.
Very nice. All right, I did see some questions about ridgeways.
Yes, so we've seen the comments about ridgeways. It's not as enticing as it should be, and so we're doing a buff to it. And so now we've increased the radius of it so that the bleeding edge talent applies to enemies within 15 meters instead of 10, which it was previously. And then we've also buffed the repair rates pretty significantly. And so now with 1 enemy inside the radius, you get 3, 2, you get 6, 3, it's 12, 4, it's 24, and 5, it's 48.
Interesting.
So,
cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how that pans out.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Yes, and so on top of what we've already covered, as far as changing the whole structure of the summits, letting you select your difficulty, directives, talented loots, all of that, we have some additional improvements. So we have more objectives. We have a quicker laptop interact animation, which I know hopefully be a lifesaver. And we've also adjusted how enemies spawn during the hack terminals objective to be more fair. Holding the shade crates in that objective will be a lot more beneficial to players. If you control the shade crates, the deployment of skills is faster for you. It deploys better skills, etc. It's buffed for players. It stays the same for enemies, though. We've added new UI notifications to make it clear when an exotic fire team happens. We've seen the comments of people being confused on legendary difficulty about why is there legendary with flamethrowers or foam. Those are exotic fire teams, and now there'll be a notification to make clear to you why and when those things are happening.
Cool. That's really good.
And then, I kind of already mentioned with Ridgeway's Pride, we buffed the talents, but we also adjusted how the quests to get it is. So it's now based on the floor numbers. So you don't have to play the different difficulties. It's like one part drops from floor 1 to 20, another from 21 to 40, etc. So it's based off of that now. And we've also increased the drop chance of them from the crates in the summit. And another thing is the final quest step of that. We've adjusted the number of hunters and rogues you have to kill to 2. Just because it wasn't really fair to solo players. Like they would have to encounter rogues twice, whereas people playing in co-op would only have to encounter them once, and so on. And so that was just like a bit of balance to make that more fair for solo. And then, we have the weekly project for Summit as well.
Nice. And then some fixes as well.
Yes, and we got a couple more fixes. Yeah,
I mean,
so
we
saw the comments about
it's
people encountering
better,
loot crates that were already opened. Those will be reset now if you happen upon them again. You'll be able to select matchmaking while within the summit without having it do the weird reload thing that it was doing before. A big thing when you're in the summit before, you couldn't look at your projects and stuff. That's been fixed.
Just small things like
you'll
that.
have all the
loot
normal
crates
tabs
reset.
You'd expect.
Parentheses
We
if
fixed,
encountered
a
again.
few
Like the fact
various
that
bugs
something
for
like
UI,
that even
map,
need to
that
be
kind of stuff.
fixed to begin with.
We improved the loot from the final enemy you kill on the 100th floor. It'll be much better than it was previously. And then we've seen the goofy clips of the White Tusk with their arms up with the foam gun. Yeah, there's a great one with Michael Jackson's Thriller playing during it, but we've fixed that as well.
Yes. So that reminds me of the old bounty things. Questions. If people have questions, we would love to see them.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you said White Tusk, and people are asking if you mean Black Tusk. Yeah.
Black Tusk. Yes. Yeah.
I guess that's an internal thing. Whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a slang term for them. Yep.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, the PowerPoint held up. I can put my laptop away.
God.
Sorry, there was probably some fan noise from that while we were doing that, but cool. All right, I'm interested to see how people end up farming in there. It's gonna be cool. 9 directives or fail. Come on.
I guarantee you somebody will clear the summit with 9 directives. And I challenge you in the chat, do it within 24 hours. Can you
I
do
already
that?
saw Marcho was saying in chat he's going to do it on stream. So we'll see.
We'll be watching.
Come on. I got to see it. And Johan, you have to keep an eye on to see if that's something we can track with analytics to see who does it first.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
I mean,
okay, thanks, Mackenzie, for I love PowerPoint streams, so thank you very much for taking us through all of that. There's a lot coming.
Call me doubtful.
And I did see some people coming in a little bit later to the stream. TLDR, there's a lot of changes coming to the summit. Summit in 11.1 that we don't have a date for it just yet, but it's tentatively looking to be a couple of weeks away, maybe October 20th, but we will keep you updated as we get closer. So next week, I at least hope that we have a more solid indication of when that will be. Okay, so Johan, do you want to give us Mackenzie has something.
Just another thing for 11.1, I've seen a bunch of comments in the chat. The firewall conflict bug will be fixed in 11.1.
Great, yeah, I've seen a lot of people reporting that on Twitter as well. That's a big one.
Yes.
Johan, do you want to give us a quick update on the season stuff?
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely. So yesterday, the new apparel event, Less Short, went live. First and foremost, I want to say that the reception seemed to be really positive, and super happy to see that. As you can see, Hamish put some of the outfits that are available on the screen now. There are a couple of issues with it right now. The main one being that sometimes you don't get the keys that you should when you level up your shade level. This is something that we're currently working to fix. That will be fixed tomorrow morning in the maintenance, just as a repeat for those that just joined. And a retroactive grant of all the keys that you should have earned is planned for next week as well. Beyond that, of course, you have a new man on target that became available. Rate is now in the game, so you can track her down and take her out. Just as a bit of lore, she actually was a logistic officer in the U.S. Army, which is quite intriguing. And I think the best part about her story is that she kind of used her position to supply both the Black Tusk and the division at the same time because of her experience and her responsibility as a logistic officer.
I feel like these season targets have their shit together a bit more than previous seasons. Like, is that just me?
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it seems like serious business.
And of course, as always, when you have a new man on target becoming available, there is a double XP for the first 15 shade levels starting yesterday and running for 1 week. So make sure you jump in and take advantage of that and get some extra shade levels.
Okay, do we want to have a look at the apparel event things in a little bit more detail? Because I do have some other images
please
we can look at, because they are very cool. The mechanic is I guess the glow stick is part of it. I'm into that.
Yes.
That's very cool. Chat, have you already started or identified which one you are after? There's a specialist as well. It's pretty serious. Bastion. And then our last one we have, which I think is super cool. I mean, anything with a hoodie, I'm super into. The Enforcer. Very cool. So those are the 4 that people have.
Those are
so
cool
just
looking.
as a reminder, that's
Absolutely.
between October 6th and 26th, if you want to get stuck into that. Okay. What else do we need to
and
cover
also,
today?
yeah, just a quick mention as well that next week the Raid League starts as well. Just wanted to mention that today, since we will not have a state of the game next week. The next state of the game is planned for October 21st. So that's when you can expect one of these streams. And until then, I hope that you enjoy the men on targets and the leaks and everything else that's going on in the game.
Nice. I just want to, someone, I don't know if it was an accent thing, 032 saying Raid 3. When you said Wraith League, maybe it sounded a little bit like Raid League. I don't know. Like,
maybe, but no, there is no Raid League. It's the Wraith League.
thanks.
That's quite funny, though. I like it.
Yeah, we don't have any updates on PvP today. Johanna, there are going to be patch notes for TU 11.1 that PvP players can get stuck into and see if there's things that will be altering the way that they experience PvP.
There will most definitely, of course, be patch notes, but as for PvP, I don't have any visibility on what the current plans are in that update. I'm not sure if Mackenzie might know more on that topic, but I don't have anything available to share right now on this stream.
Looks like Mackenzie's been pretty busy with Summit, TBH.
Looks like it, right? You know, just a little bit. Just a little busy.
Yeah. Okay. I want to do a couple of agent highlights. I have 2 and then a little other one. So this week, I don't know if people saw on Twitter, but First Pink Chaos has been going ham on this custom longboard, all custom painted. I'm glad looks to be a few layers of clear coat on there to protect the whole thing, but this is absolutely bonkers. So cool, especially with the Coney.
That's amazing.
Stuff in the back. Yeah, very, very cool. Please never ride it, and make sure that it just exists on a wall somewhere, because it's very, very cool. I don't know if First Pink Chaos is in chat, but hi. Very, very awesome. And then we also have Akimura, who has this absolutely bonkers rocket launcher.
Oh my god.
Super cool. I can't quite see what everything's made of. It looks like those might even be wood, but that's awesome. Akimura TW 2017 over on Twitter if you want to go and check that out. That's, yeah, again, serious business. Okay, that's looking like it's going to be all for today, unless Mackenzie, you look like you might have something else to say.
Yeah, I just want to address some of the comments in the chat about targeted loot. Just to make clear about it, so for 11.1, the gear sets being their own loot allocations, that is game-wide. So you'll see that in the rotations for missions and everything. The directives increasing the chance of targeted loot, that is game-wide. The personal selection of targeted loot is specific to Summit.
Cool. Thank you very much for clarifying that. That's going to be the stream for today. I do have a special agent highlight that was sent to me by a friend of the stream and longtime Division streamer, Little Bird. You may not know him as Little Bird. You may know him as The Real Colonel Bliss if you've seen him on his Twitch stream. I'm going to let Little Bird play us out this week, and we still have the Division 2 photos, so we'll check those out after this. But here's a minute of Little Bird playing us out this week. Splinter Shield, I think you already know what this is. But we will see you all next week. And here is the very awesome Little Bird. We'll catch you next week. Bye. Well, not next week. Johanna.
21st.
21st. All right. See you later, everyone. Bye.
would have not taken that man for a tap dancer. All right. Okay. Oh God. Very mixed emotions about this. Yeah. So this one definitely is more difficult. There's definitely some good and some bad things with it. I mean, obviously, so it's Summit. Summit is kind of this double-edged sword, right? It's Summit is just very very mixed because the thing is that everyone knows, or at least everyone I think has acknowledged that what has happened with Summit and the way it was handled to begin with was not necessarily good. They're clearly making the changes. They're acknowledging the things that are wrong with Summit, which is good. It's very good, but unfortunately, this is the one thing I think that probably pushes most people away from this game. Is not necessarily the bugs, not necessarily the the just kind of the feel and everything like that. I think what pushes people away is the goddamn resets. The resets are such an issue with this game, unfortunately, to where you can progress and do all this stuff, and there will be something wrong, right? Something wrong with the game, and they fix it, but in order to fix it, they have to reset it. And I think that's the big problem. Like, I know for me, Summit's a grind, dude. Like, it's such a grind, and that's okay to a certain extent, but the fact that it was mentioned that when 11.1 comes out, that your placement, your Summit progression on a numerical level sense is going to be reset. That's an issue for me. I'm going to be really honest with you. It's going to be very hard for me to do that shit all over again, because that means that I've got all the exotic components. I'm at the the last 10 floors right now, so I'm between 90 and 100. I got all my exotic components. I'm ready to go get that chest piece, which means ideally I got to go grab that. I got to go finish Summit before 11.1 drops, because it sounds like what's going to happen is 11.1 is going to drop, and here we are to where you're going to be essentially reset back down to 0. So, oh god, that's definitely going to be hard. I think that's probably, arguably going to be kind of the biggest issue with 11.1 is the Summit reset specifically. They got all these great features, all these great things going, but they're resetting it. Like, oh my god. Why are you doing that? I don't know, man. It's going to be difficult. God, yeah, that should be very interesting. Oh man, did you watch the whole thing, Rio, or did you just just tune in? Sure. Yeah, I mean, and that's the avoidance is it's the avoidance is an interesting thing to observe. Is more for exotic. Yeah, and I'm hoping I'm really hoping that with the reset, it sounded like they are just resetting the floors, like nothing more. But I really hope like the whole damn thing different. I know, and it's like that's honestly probably what I'll do. I'll put it like on the lowest possible setting, and I'll just run through. But I'm like, oh god, I really hope they don't reset the components. Is there a story right? I know. If only, right? I'm like, normal still. I know. I kind of thought the same thing, and I'm like, is there anything easier than normal though? Is that possible? Because then we can just do that. Okay, that's kind of what I figured, but I know he didn't technically. I don't think he technically confirmed it by any means. So it should be interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's you know it's good and bad. You know, it's definitely got positives and negatives for sure. All right, it's definitely good. Right, and that that's actually I'm glad you brought that up because that targeted loot that that shit is fire, man. That is perfect. Like that is something that with the issues that this game has had for loot, some of the developers do really come up with like some really crafty stuff, man. Like that is perfect. Like it's the fact that you can quite literally pick the loot that you want. Yeah, exactly. And it's like now my thing, and I'm sure they have a reason, but why aren't they just putting that in the game, like in general? You know what I mean? I know that they were talking about all the changes with Summit and stuff like that, but they need to just put that in the game, man. You put that in the game, my God, the amount of people that you would make happy would just be ridiculous. I would be curious to see like how many people actually come back to the game if they were to implement a loot system like that, because that's perfect. At that point, it's almost like you can put the community targeted loot, but then they could just take specific targeted loot out of missions like as a whole. I would still leave the geographical targeted loot random. I would keep that just random spawned loot. But man, that would be incredible if they put that into all the missions as well. So now part targeted loot. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I know a lot of the talk today was summit based. So it sounds like they made changes to the world. Did he? Okay. Okay. I might have not heard that because that's oof. God, that's good. That is good. I mean, it sounds like they're having issues fixing the gear per se, like in regards to how they roll and things like that. So they're at least implementing this, which is good. Yeah. In okay, so that's kind of what I thought, and it's they really just need to put the individual picking, not on the geographical loot. Geographical loot, they can just keep that random, random stuff as it cycles every so many days or hours. But they need to put that individualized loot in each mission. They need to make that 100%, like, no questions asked. They need to put that on each individual mission. Because the problem, kind of the new problem right now with targeted loot, just in the normal world, just in normal DC and New York and stuff like that, is, and everyone is seeing this. I'm seeing it. See other streamers face it, to where they go and they are going for targeted loot, and then they don't actually get like anything. They don't get a single piece of targeted loot their entire run. They'll get loot, but it's not the targeted loot. And that's kind of a new problem that's been kind of facing. Dude, I'm like, 0 directives. Dude, with no directives whatsoever. Oh, God. One thing they have yet to mention, though, is could do 0, flat 0 directives, at least the first time. I don't know, man. I think doing legendary with any directives is just, legendary is hard enough. So I don't know if this is still an issue. I think you would know. Is PlayStation still getting like the Delta errors, the boots, the blue screens, all that stupid crashing stuff that seems to be plaguing PlayStation more than any other any other platform? I'd be curious to know. Touch it. Okay. I know that's something that they technically have not been able to solve. Like, they haven't actually been able to find a fix for that. So it is interesting how it kind of, I know you don't necessarily want to talk about it each week, but I do wonder if the PlayStation community feels a little, in certain senses, kind of left behind like that, like they've just kind of abandoned the issue. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they did. I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago. I think it was a scheduled maintenance 2 maintenances ago. So I think 2 weeks ago. Yeah, man, it's. I don't blame you. I would probably do the same thing. I would constantly be logging back in. I'd get pissed, but I would continuously log back in 100%. It's. Oh, man. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. Very nice, very nice. I've been contemplating just kind of, just for, to play it, going back to, not necessarily back to, but maybe running through Division 1. I have it on my console. I have Division 1 on my console, but yeah. No, I agree. It's just not the same. Not at all. Cuz I have Division 1 on my console, but I don't know if I want to rerun the whole damn thing on PC. I don't know if I'm up for that. So I'm still kind of, yeah. Let's see here. Sting. Oh, you mean like recoil on Division 1 versus Division 2? Yeah, it's a huge difference. You know, the after I played, yeah, yeah, Division 1, man, honestly feels like a harder game to me than Division 2. At least like the general story and going through all that stuff. There's definitely positives and negatives to each game. Remember when I was playing it more on console in Division 1, it definitely feels different. It has its pluses and minuses. I think the character, I guess the trait kind of modifications. I'm trying to think of the word of what they would be in Division 2, like the calibration stuff and things like that. I think are definitely better in Division 1. I do like the one thing I really did like story wise about Division 1 is how strongly they correlated like headquarters, developing headquarters specifically, with the game. I know they did that in Division 2 as well, right? Like as you were going through the story, you would open up things in the White House, and certain areas would open back up and stuff like that. But in Division 1, man, there was definitely that progression. You know, like it was a lot, I guess, more just kind of more focused. It wasn't necessarily like complete the mission and then boom, you know, a new section opens up. At least in Division 1, when you would do the story, you would have all these places opening up, but you'd have to actually do a little more, you know, and put your points in specific places and things like that. Right. I know. There's definitely good things and bad things to both, you know. Division 1 has its perks. I mean, when you compare the games, I feel like on just kind of a non-biased standpoint, and you just kind of look at the games each individually for what they are, they really did do a lot of improvements with Division 2. There's a ton of things that they arguably did much better on the second one than they did on the first game. But on the contrary, there's also things in the first game that I'm like, oh, man, I wish they would have kept that a little bit more. Maybe built upon it, maybe modified it. Kind of like the headquarter development. They did the same thing in Division 2, but they kind of dumbed it down. It was not nearly as in depth as it was in Division 1. And that, at least in Division 1, kind of gave it a you know, a little bit more of a, you felt a little more connected to the game in that sense, you know. right. Okay. All right, man. I'm gonna head out. I got physics this morning. I got my physics class this morning. I'm just super pumped for it, if you can't tell. Yeah, I could see that. I could absolutely see that. It was more. It was a lot more work. I think that's kind of personally what I liked about it. I'm like, yeah, it was. Gave you kind of more to do. It was more of an incentive. It didn't feel like it was a grind. You kind of had to go grind in certain senses to get it. But yeah, it wasn't as bad. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. I think this morning we have. I think he's lecturing on circular motion. I think is what it is. It's like two-dimensional circular motion. I think is what it is. So, yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. All right. Let's see here. Cool. All right. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Anyone else in the chat? I think I saw a couple more people in here. If you like the content, don't forget to hit that follow button. Much appreciated. Links and everything for all my other stuff are just in the about section on my page. So I will. I'll catch you later, Rio. I will. I'm gonna try to stream again Thursday. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Oh shit! I'm losing my days. Yes, I am. I'm gonna try to hop back on Thursday, tomorrow. Probably late morning or late afternoon. So, if you are on, stop by. I will see you then at some point. Pretty much just going to stream before I have to go into work. So, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for stopping by again, Rio. I will hopefully.